Hey everyone, I'm Joshua Orro, the Mustang Prince, and welcome to Mustang Prince Orro Reports. Now, today's blog is going to be the last film I'm going to cover from last year for January. But before we get started, let's talk about Transformers. Now, aside from the toys, the animated series, and the animated movie, when it comes to live action, the Transformers films haven't been doing too well lately, due to Mr. Explosion King Michael Bay. And due to my pain with the fourth movie, you can understand why, and thank goodness I skipped the fifth Bayformers movie due to what they did to Optimus. Plus, it makes the Transformers ride at Universal Studios look a lot better. However, I want to blog a good Transformers movie. And the movie I'll be blogging today was a recent live-action adaptation, which was released in theaters last month. But, will this movie make up for the Bayformers? Well, let's find out. Released on December 21st, 2018, the movie is Bumblebee. Now let's get started. On the run, in the year 1987, Autobot Bumblebee seeks refuge in a junkyard in a small California beach town. Charlie, on the brink of turning 18 years old and trying to find her place in the world, soon discovers the battle-scarred and broken Bumblebee. When Charlie revives him, she quickly learns that this is no ordinary yellow Volkswagen. So, what do I think? Well, it's way better than Michael Bay's Transformers films, that's a given, but I don't think this movie can top the Transformers toys or the 1980s cartoon series. But I still enjoyed it. But to further explain, let's move on to Mustang notes. The film was directed by Travis Knight, whom 3 years ago directed Kubo and the Two Strings. On February 12, 2016, it was announced that the sixth film in the Transformers series, Transformers 6, would be released on June 8, 2018, while later it was revealed that the movie would be an untitled spin-off featuring Bumblebee. On November 11, 2016, Deadline reported that Paramount Pictures was moving forward with the project by revealing that Christina Hudson had written the script for the spin-off, and she was one of the female writers Paramount and Michael Bay hired in the writer's room. On March 2, 2017, Deadline reported that Travis Knight was hired to direct the movie. Now that sounds like a better idea than Michael Bay directing. Anyway, in May 2017, it was revealed that the film's story would be set in the 1980s, and that it would have fewer robots. During the same month, it was announced that the title of the movie was to be Transformers Universe Bumblebee. Principal photography on the movie began on July 31st, 2017 in Los Angeles, San Francisco, Santa Cruz, Vallejo, and Mare Island, California. And it was scheduled to finish on November 16, 2017, under the working title Brighton Falls. Filming concluded 6 days ahead of schedule on November 10, 2017. Later, the film was revealed to have changed its title to just Bumblebee, as well as having wrapped up during the filming. The visual effects for the movie were provided by George Lucas's studio Industrial Light and Magic, along with Cantina Creative and The Third Floor, with Jason Smith and Tony Lopoy serving as the main visual effects supervisors. Now, in my opinion, I really like the setting in 1987. Not only because it's 3 years before I was born, but because I'm kind of considered a fan of the 80s. Plus, I think the Transformers fits better in that time period, since it was the rise of their toy line and their cartoon series. And I really love the many different 80s hits that are played throughout the movie. Also, I like the fact that the main story takes place in Northern California, which is, well, about several miles north from where I live. Speaking of story, part of this movie does make a nice coming-of-age story, and several parts of the movie are almost reminiscent to other sci-fi films, like The Iron Giant and E.T. Another thing I like in this movie are the fight scenes, and thank goodness these battles are toned down a little bit compared to the past Transformers films. Most importantly is that all the explosions in the movie are not overused. Also, this movie does have better character development as well. Anyway, I think that's all I have for Mustang notes, so let's move on to the cast. The main hero, B-127, aka Bumblebee, is voiced by Dylan O'Brien, who's best known from the Maze Runner films. B is a young Autobot scout who transforms into a yellow Willys MB Jeep before switching for a rusty yellow 1967 Volkswagen Beetle and eventually a yellow and black 1977 Chevrolet Camaro. Anyway, Bumblebee is my favorite character in the Transformers series. No, I'm not kidding. I think B is a very loyal character, and I deeply sympathize with what he's been through after his first battle on Earth, which resulting in losing his voice and his memory. But I think his B mask is really hardcore. Our human main character, Charlie Watson, is played by Haley Steinfeld, whom I talked about in my blogs of the Pitch Perfect sequels and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Charlie is a teenage girl who is recovering from the loss of her father and the fact that her mom has a new boyfriend. Charlie tends to bury herself in her two main passions in life, which are music and her attempt to finish restoring a Corvette that she and her dad had been working on before he died. Also, I find it, amazing how Charlie used to be a high diver during her school age, and I really think that Charlie makes a great mechanic, and I really like the friendship between her and Bumblebee. Next we have Charlie's neighbor, Memo, played by George Lendeborg Jr., who has been in Spider-Man Homecoming. Memo is basically the new kid in town. Upon meeting Charlie and Bumblebee, he agrees to help protect their secret due to his feelings for her. Next, we have Charlie's little brother, Otis, played by Jason Drucker, whom I remember from The Diary of a Wimpy Kid, The Long Haul. In my opinion, despite being a martial arts student, I think Otis is really annoying. Heck, he even gets on Charlie's nerves at times. But nearing the end of the movie, Otis redeems himself by covering for his sister after she and Memo go out to rescue Bumblebee. Next we have Jack Burns, a former U.S. Army Ranger and agent of Sector 7, played by WWE wrestler turned actor John Cena, whom I've talked about in my blog of Blue Skies Ferdinand. Now, Burns is a complicated and morally gray individual who, under influence from the Decepticons, plots to hunt down Bumblebee. However, despite being a brutal person, Jack wants to secure the world from hostile invaders, as he misunderstood Bumblebee, as he did not realize that he would later save his life. These are Shatter and Dropkick, two Decepticon agents voiced by Angela Bassett and Justin Theroux. Shatter is a triple charger who transforms into a red Plymouth satellite and a Harrier jump jet, while Dropkick transforms into a blue AMC Javelin and a Bell AH-1 Super Cobra. Anyway, these two evil bots pretend to be peacekeepers, persuading Sector 7 to help them find and capture Bumblebee, whom they claim is a fugitive. And finally, we have the leader of the Autobots, Optimus Prime, voiced by Peter Cullen. While Optimus is an awesome character, it's pretty disappointing that he's barely in this movie. But then again, it's not his story, so that's fair enough. The rest of the cast include David Sobolov, Andrew Morgado, John Ortiz, Steven Schneider, and Pamela Adlon. And now, let's move on to my final words. Overall, Bumblebee is a great movie, and I think this is how Transformers should be done when it comes to live action. Because when a toy line is given the right director and writer, it could be a great movie. Plus, the film has well-done action scenes and great character development. And it does a great job to please every Transformer fan out there. In fact, I want to consider this film as the Nightformers. So, I give this movie a 95% out of 100. Great job, Travis Knight, and go to Tartarus, Michael Bay! Well, that's it for now. Be sure to join me again next time. Mustang Power!